I also watched again another fucking Netflix show. And this show was actually Emmy nominated, Russian Doll. If you guys ever seen it, it's came out the first season came out in 2019, I think. And I didn't watch it during 2019. So this is like what, 4 years later? And this stars the beautiful Natasha Lenoy. I'm really trying. I suck at names, but yes, Natasha lady who is also a actor in The Orange is the New Black. She really, I thought she was gonna have a lighter voice, but she really does have a smoker voice. It has like that, like S to it, like this, like sort of like a dirt or a gravel. You feel like when you walk on it, it's not bad. It's a very attractive voice. It's just very dirt. And I feel in this review, I'm gonna do both season one and season two, how I felt. So I watched season one probably around a week ago, and it follows the story of time travel as Natasha, or no, Nadia, it's not Natasha, but Natasha plays Nadia, as she is on her 40th birthday, I'm pretty sure. She realizes that she spends the most of the day normal. She has sex with guys, doing all that shit. And then she realizes that she dies and comes back, and she's forced in this never ending loop in death and returnal. And she's also joined by some companions. Oh, it's her 36. Okay. Butchered that one, but her 36th birthday. As she's caught in this surreal time loop. And it's continuous. It's like it does that repeatedly. It's surprising, and I hope it's not trying to be like a huge plot twist, but I was always thinking like if they had two people who were dying in a time loop, so say I die but I come back at this point in time, and then someone else is dying and comes back at this point in time, like would like they come back, so I'm assuming that they're forming a new timeline or they're breaking the old one. So does both people have to be dead at the same time, or would there be like if I'm on my third or ninth currently and he's on his fourth, is he going to meet up with my fourth death, like the fourth person who came back, and then they talk, but then the next death I don't remember that. And I was like, that's a huge time travel shit. Like, that would be like making multiple versions of myself that would just topple upon each other. And, like, I don't know how that would turn out. But that's just a thought I had when I was watching the film. But it's completely not a story about the film. So, as Nadia. Here's a weird question. Is Russian Doll a true story? That's so stupid. This show is personal, but. So Nadia follows this time, and the story is more centered about the fact that, well, if you didn't get the idea, it's really and I got it. And well, they were got it, but also like they kind of said it too. They were like, oh, the show is follows Nadia and her journey through death and understanding that she needs to be more like present with her time. And they had a lot of time to show off that, but one of the problems with me is like you never really understood what was the cause. And I wanted to say that it was her mother, and I would have said that was a great reason, saying that she wasn't actually truly crazy and or abusive or upsetting as Nadia made her out to be, but she actually was onto something. But then it just showed her as just a normal person, and everyone around her was a normal person, and everything was. And then they had this other subplot with this other character, and they were trying to say like he should have committed suicide, and Nadia should have been more present and helped out this guy. And Alan should. I'm like this. What in the twisted motherfucking way is this? Like I was just like, dude, if I saw some person puking, right, or getting upset, should I have made the time to go out and say that? Yeah, sure. But should I be punished because I didn't make that choice? That makes no sense. Unless that was originally on the third time of the timeline and they needed me to make that choice, but I decided not to, which would have been like something like in Loki. But since they didn't go into that, and there was nothing to go into that for, then why did it exist? That's the question in my head. I'm like, am I forced to fix this when it never happened? And nothing's doing that except the world. So the world is basically like, Loki, it forces me to fix this mistake that I didn't originally make. It's so weird. And I want to care about the subplot and about what he's going on about, but I'm like, dude, I just frankly don't give a shit. Like, okay, he's dealing with his own problems, he's doing this, and he commits suicide. It's not saying suicide's okay, but he made his choice, right? And Nadia made her choice and died that night. Why is the universe trying to fix it? That's just the only thing. It's like, I get the point of the story. I get what they were trying to tell. There were some weird things. They went on some weird things. I'm like, yeah, sure, that's pretty realistic. I would go on random things. But it just felt like random information to give more time to the show to deliver that point instead of actually spending the time to really understand what was going on, and her taking more time to let go of her past and understand what happened back then and really realize and recognize the future. It's like we forgot what the point with the film was and we went on a tangent like I do. And I see, ooh, pretty light. And then I start talking about something else. And I'm like, dude, what am I doing? Stop. I need to pay attention to what's currently going on right now. And another thing, when I was watching that film, so first season, I would give it a 6 or 7. If I'm being honest, the idea was cool and all the stuff they were showing off was cool, which is a 7, especially that gun door. That was the sickest thing I've ever seen. But if I wanted to say how much I liked the film, it's close to 5. 5 or 4. I don't like the film a ton. I liked a lot of the actors and stuff, but what they were trying to deliver in the film did not make sense. Or what they were trying to deliver and what they were doing doesn't make any sense. Like, there's some instances where I'm pointing out, I'm like, why are we talking about this guy? It's just random for no reason. And maybe there is a reason, but I didn't see it while I was watching. And as we want to go past that point, we're going to season 2, which was the second season of Russian Doll. And actually, hold on, before we go to second 2, I really want to see what they got Emmy nominated for. Comedy series. Yeah, it got an outstanding comedy and lead actress for the first season. She was a great lead actress. She honestly carried the show a lot, and her comedy was fine. I just didn't like the plot they were trying to go on. Season 2 of Russian Doll. We need to talk about that. Instead of dealing with the present, being more aware, not focusing on your past so much, being the ultimate therapist that life wanted to be in that exact moment, season 2 focuses on what devils are we holding in our past that we forget about the present. Okay, so instead of death, Nadia is coming up to her 40th birthday. We're not dealing with a time loop anymore. We are dealing with, and not to be huge spoilers, but they're dealing with the past. They go into the past to fix life's wrongs that affect them in the present, which is sort of like the first season, but not. Because the first season focused on fixing the mistake of you not doing or doing shit because of the past. Now this one is them physically going to the past to do the exact same thing because they were not focusing on the future and trying to fix those mistakes. And the subplot for this, and same with the main character had a lot more fleshed out. The subplot was for the second character, and it made you feel like a little bit weird, like, why are we doing this? Kind of feels like Riverdale, you know? I was like, what? So they went on their little journey, and there was some surprising actors in that, but I feel like the second season actually did way better than the second season, or the first season did way better than the second season, if I'm being honest. Did they stay to the plot and didn't bring up a lot of random details? Yes. But was it really fucking hard to follow sometimes? Yes, it was. Like, I gave some questions like, why? And then they talked about it for a long time, and I know they were saying, oh, but like, the Jewish and like the problems they went through. I was like, yeah, sure. But they didn't touch upon that, but they did. And they made it like super long in some cases. And there would be times where the character would be like this, oh, I have a great idea. And then she goes out there and she's like, this was a big waste of time. I was like, you wasted both of our times. But then she realized she discovered one bit of information that didn't come from the area that she originally looked for. So she went like somewhere else and still got some information, and then went back into the past with that information. And he was like, what was the point of that place? So she could end up there? But that was so weird. Like, why did you waste our time with 30 to 40 minutes of that just for her to not get anything from it? It's like me doing a side quest, but not getting the original reward from it. A lot of and some characters got more time, some characters got less. And yes, the plot was so fucking harsh about it. If you just dumbed down what they were doing, I noticed what they were trying. Like, clearly, what Nadia was doing in the past was ruining her future once again, and she clearly missed on some details in her future, and then she does by far the dumbest thing at the end of the show. Like, how the fuck would that work? And further destroys the future, but then she fixes it, and then that's the end of the series, which I have to give to follow on the plot and stuff. It's a 6 out of 10 review. But I did like the first season way more than the second season. It was kind of like weird that they followed it up with this, and Netflix hasn't renewed it for a second season, which is not crazy to think that. But yeah, really good show. They did a lot of things that were really crazy about it, but really good show. And if you guys want to, if you enjoy the actor a lot, then you will like the show. If you don't enjoy the plot that much, or you don't enjoy the co-stars and stuff on there that much, which they weren't funny, then I don't blame you for not liking the show a ton. But yeah, loved it a lot. There was a lot of things she could have done better. End of the day,